this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. How are you all today? Well, I hope. Still staying safe. The COVID thing hasn't gone from the UK. I don't know where you're watching from, but we're still being bugged by it here in the UK, although we have got very good record on vaccinations, so hopefully we are all safe. I've had my booster as well, so I've had 3 vaccinations now against COVID, so I'm hoping they're working. Anyway, our project today, let's get on with that. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago I posted this card, which was the card I made for my daughter because she managed to secure a professional acting role. She's been trying for several years to get into acting, and she finally got offered a role, which is absolutely fantastic. She's going to be on tour from January to August next year, so that's absolutely brilliant. And this is the card I made her using the now Encircled in Beauty, I think these are called, these dies. It will be linked on the video below and on my blog if I've got that wrong. So I made her this card. I made it in purple for her because she's a purple girl. But before I made that one, I made this one, and I don't know why, I just didn't quite like this one quite so much. But I thought I'd show you how I made it anyway. So we're going to make this card today. We're going to do, this one is in polished pink. We're going to use Coastal Cabana, and we're going to take a sheet of, sorry, I haven't got it out, basic white, and we're going to chop it in half. Yeah, this one I've done portrait. This one I've done tent fold, like that. I think that stands quite nicely, doesn't it? I might do this one that way round, actually. They do stand really nicely when you do tent fold, and it's actually much better for photographing them. So 10.5, so it's an A4 sheet that I've cut at 10.5, and then I'm just going to score at, $149 millimeters, which hopefully will be about, not bad. I've got a little bit of an overhang there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to burnish that, and then I'm just going to trim off my little bit of excess. Because it's a funny measurement, A4, it's 297 millimeters, so it's just a very strange measurement. There we go, just that little bit to trim off. Right, so there's our card base. Right, now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, so I'm just going to stamp. Now, I'm not going to make this as a so very happy card for you, although I loved how that sentiment fitted in that circle really nicely, and this would be great. You know, this will be great for me to send to a team member who's promoted, or lots of reasons. So I'm going to save that one, but I'm going to make this one into a thank you card. Obviously I need lots of thank you cards. I have lots of customers that I like to thank with a handmade card, and people are always doing nice things for me, so I like to thank them. Right, okay, so I'm going to take a little scrap of basic white. This is just the thin basic white, doesn't need to be the thick one. And I've got a stamp from Flowers of Friendship, and it's this one, little card, big thanks. I just love that. I love the fonts, I love the setting of it. Those are great sentiments in that set. It's one of my favourite sets, I have to say. So we're just going to stamp this in Memento ink on a little, oh, a bit splodgy. I'm going to try again on the other side. I'm going to do it slightly lighter, and I'm not going to press quite so hard. That's better. Yeah, sometimes, see, even though I've stamped for years, I still don't get it right the first time. Right, so I'm going to move my grid sheet out of the way to bring in my cutter. I'm going to have to use the big cutter because I don't think that Encircled in Beauty die will quite fit through the mini. It might do, but I'm not sure. Well, anyway, we'll use the big one for today. You need to try it. It may fit through. So we're going to use this circle die, which is, I'm going to measure it for you to tell you which circle. So it's from the Layering Circles set, and it measures 4 centimetres or 1 5/8 inches. So that's the circle you need. And then I'm just going to take, sorry, I've got my washi tape lurking underneath here. Take a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place, and find my cutter. Where's it gone? Oh, one of the plates has just fallen off. Let me get that. And there we go. So we're going to do that. We're also going to take a piece of Coastal Cabana. We're going to cut out this die from the medallion set, like so. And I might just put that through again, hoping that's staying in the same place, just because it's quite an intricate die, and two passes make sure. Oh, there you go, it's pinged out. Look, that means it's really well cut. And then all we need to do, so let's just take that out. Lots of pieces left on there. We'll get rid of those in a minute. Just get rid of those. And then we're going to use the border that is from peppermint, and it's either gingerbread and peppermint or peppermint and gingerbread. I can't remember which way around it is, but they're dies in the mini catalogue, the Christmas catalogue, and this border is just particularly lovely and just adds a little bit of something to this card, which otherwise would be a little bit too plain. So let's just send that through, and then there we go. I just need to take that out of the die, get rid of my cutter. I think that's all the cutting. Oh, that's a nice pattern, isn't it? Oh, I hadn't noticed that before. Might be able to use that for something as well. Interesting pattern, just as a off cut. This one's not quite as good, I don't think. That's the other off cut. Right, okay, so what do we need to do? Here's our card blank. We need our medallion. We need our circle greeting, and that fits exactly into there, look, like that. Got a bit of washi tape on there. There we go. That will fit in there. And then we've got our border, which just poke this out. There it is, and it's come out without any of the bits in it, so I can just get them out of the die later on. And then I just need to get rid of the bits from here. And again, you can see this is working. I've got a brush. I just quite often think it's just as easy to do it by hand as it is with the brush, just to poke these bits out. It is a little bit fiddly, this one. Like you saw, if you pass it through twice, it does make it a little bit easier. So it's a problem with these intricate dies with lots of cutting to do. So it's not a card that I'd want to make hundreds of at a time, because this would take you a bit of time to do. But for a one-off, to send a nice thank you or something to somebody, perfect. Of course, Coastal Cabana, some of you will know, is one of my favourite colours. I sometimes think if I had to choose my 5 favourite Stampin' Up colours, Polished Pink would be in there, one of the new in colours. Coastal Cabana would definitely be in there. Trying to think what else. I do use Granny Apple Green quite a lot as well. Don't know. Daffodil Delight, maybe. Like that colour. Yeah, don't know what else. Oh, I'd have to have a purple. I'd have to have Highland Heather as well, I think. Right, okay. So this is just going to be glued onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Tombow around here. And then I'm just going to put some dots in various places here. And then I'm going to spread it out with a cocktail stick so that hopefully all the edges will get stuck down. It's a bit tricky. This works really well. I do have a fine tip glue dispenser that I use sometimes as well for this work. I use it mostly for my quilling, but it would work with this as well. You can just buy a little pot with a tiny nozzle. Buy them on eBay and things. No, yeah, eBay probably, yes, but Amazon was what I meant to say. There we go. So just smooth that out so that you're not going to get any glue splodging out, because it'll be a very fine layer and actually you're managing to catch more of the edges. And then that is just going to stick onto our cardstock like that. Onto our card blank. Not measuring today. If you're not sure, you can get it central. Just give it a little measure and mark the centre. Okay, right, and then this is going to go inside there. That's the one that I stamped wrong on the back there. This has soaked up some water, so let's try that again. I've got a new piece of damp sponge in the bottom there. So sometimes the nozzle just draws in a little bit of water from it. There we go. Oh, let's try not to stick it upside down. There we go. Perfect. And then just the little border at the bottom. I used a little bit of paper from Whimsy and Wonder, which is in polished pink, but actually I'm just going to use a little bit of the Family Stacks, the Brights, to do, make sure I've stuck everything down, to do this. I'm going to cut along there, so I'm going to take my trimmer and cut a piece that is, let's see, how wide is this? 2.5 centimetres. So I'm measuring it up against this side this time. And there we go. Like so. And that is going to go along there. So I can trim a little bit of that off. Where's my snips? There we go. Trim a little bit of that off. I'm going to leave it overhanging because I'm going to trim them off afterwards. Some of you know that I like to do that. So that means that you always get a really flush edge of your card if you do that. So again, just smooth that out. There we go. Put that near the bottom, about 1/4 inch, 1/2 centimetre up from the bottom, maybe slightly more. There we go. And then I'm going to take my border and just stick that over. So it's kind of reminiscent of that, I thought. That was why I used that. And I just wanted to keep autumn monochrome, so I didn't want to bring any other colours in, which is why I've used the same colour designer series paper. So again, a little bit fiddly to glue. Put some glue all along there. Maybe a few dots. There we go. There we go. Just waiting for my daughter to ring me back. She's broken down in her car. She decided not to renew her breakdown cover because she's actually planning to move to London next month. And she won't be able to have a car because of the ultra low emission zone. So she's going to bring her car home to leave it on our drive for a while. And so she decided she didn't need breakdown cover. And of course, a few days after cancelling, not cancelling, but not renewing her breakdown cover, of course, she's broken down. And she's in Harpenden, which is about at least an hour away. And calling me to say, what can you help me? What can you do? And I'm thinking, well, I can't really do anything much, Annie, I'm afraid. So she's just had to call a garage to come and tow her. I'm just hoping that the repair isn't going to cost a fortune. It's not a car that's worth very much, to be honest. I'm not sure it's even worth having it repaired, but she would miss it if she didn't have it at all when she wants a car. Right, here we go. Right, now then, I used our In Colour Jewels because we've got polished pink ones. Haven't got Coastal Cabana ones, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour. Now, I don't think we've got Coastal Cabana blends, have we? So I'm going to use the light Bermuda Bay one because that is a very similar colour. So I'm just going to colour 5 of these and that will be perfect. This is a great use for your blends, turning your gems into any colour that you need. Really saves you a lot of money, so you don't need to buy loads of packs of gems. You can just buy the plain ones and then change them as you want. And again, I'm using my Take Your Pick. Brilliant for doing these jewels, I have to say. One there, one there, one there. And then a couple on the message. And we are done. You can stamp a sentiment inside if you wanted to. But I'm going to choose not to on this one, I think. There we go. 2 cards, very simple design, very little stamping, nice die cuts though. The medallion does all the hard work for you here, does all the heavy lifting. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. All the details will be below, links to all the products I've used, link to my online shop. Don't forget to use my code, which will be on my blog. So hop over to my blog if you've not got my code. Pop it in the host code box and I can send you a free product free product gift next month. And I think that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.